Welcome back to Post TV Live. Here with Mark Loftus, senior editor of Post Magazine, Randy Altman, editor of Post Magazine, and Greg Estes from Nvidia. So Nvidia isn't here with new product for the show, but they have a ton of partnerships going on. They're on many different booths, and they're helping people like Adobe speed up their products. So do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Well, yeah, that's probably the big story for us is I think Adobe CS6 certainly is a landmark release in terms of GPU computing. They're doing new things with After Effects, taking advantage of our CUDA architecture to be able to do extruded text and to do 3D ray tracing right within After Effects. People haven't been able to do this before. The customers they're dropping their jaws when they come to the booth to see it, which is awesome for us. Premiere Pro has always taken great advantage of CUDA with the Mercury playback engine, and Adobe, I think, is really at the top of their game in terms of really understanding how to take great advantage of the GPU. So when you look at CS6 in particular, and we have a lot of partners doing a lot of great things, but to just talk about CS6 for a minute, there's 4 different products within the suite that people would use for video. You've got Photoshop, you've got SpeedGrade now, you've got After Effects, and you've got Premiere Pro. All of them are accelerated on NVIDIA GPUs. There's unique features that are only found with NVIDIA, and we're very happy about that, of course. And again, they're just taking great advantage of that power by working with us and putting technologies that we have like optics directly into After Effects. And the big winner, of course, is the end users who can now do things with this very powerful suite they couldn't do before.
Well, I was at your booth yesterday and I saw a demo of Maya, and it was showing fluid simulations of what could be done with your help and what couldn't be done, and it was amazing. And I think that's the best way to look at what you can do and what you can't do. And also I noticed how many products are now GPU accelerated from just a year ago.
Yeah, I think there's 15 or 16 new GPU accelerated products using, again, our CUDA technology just this year. We've got partners like Blackmagic and others who have used our technology and made great use of GPUs for a number of years, but they're increasing what they can do. They're putting multiple of our GPUs. They're taking advantage of our Maximus technology. And then you've got partners that historically have had their own solutions and not been taking advantage of the GPU, like Quantel, who is really doing a great job with the new Pablo software, for instance, using multiple Teslas in a system, using our Maximus technology. So, you know, there's a range. In our booth, we've got Cinefilm, whose product Dark Energy was used on Active Valor. You know, that's a great story there. I don't know if your viewers have really seen that, but
they did read about it in the cover story for Post Magazine.
That's
a couple
right,
months
they
ago.
did. That's right. But really, just the idea of using DSLRs and then using another technology to put the film grain back in, so when you blow it up, you know, 20 feet for a movie or whatever, it just looks gorgeous. And so smart customers like Bandito Brothers in that case, really taking good advantage of the GPU to all across the workflow. So that's kind of our big story, I think, in a lot of ways, is if you think about the workflow is coming in from the camera with all these amazing new cameras that are coming out too. I know you guys are covering that, Blackmagic with that new camera, Canon, you know, all these guys doing great stuff. Right from the beginning, where you bring the file-based camera in, you know, from Red or Canon or whatever you have, all the way through the end of the process to digital distribution, where our partners like Elemental Technologies are using our GPUs to then take that and then encode it so that it's showing up on mobile devices like your phone or your tablet or whatever. Through that entire process, all GPU accelerated and all taking advantage of GPU computing. So for us, of course, that's a great story. We're in every part of the workflow, and with all of these new partners and these customers, and we feel like it's one of those transformational moments in the industry, right? I know you guys are covering the 4K story quite a bit.
Yeah, I was going to ask you a little bit about that. With the new camera announcements from Canon, obviously you mentioned a bunch of your partners. Do you think that's what attendees are going to take away from NAB this year, that it's a 4K show, that workflows are being enabled, you can shoot, you can have a workflow, do editorial, and ultimately deliver this high-res content?
Yeah, and we love that, of course, because we're the engine underneath these 4K workflows that these vendors are coming out with, and taking advantage of the large frame buffer size that we have, the ability to do a 4K display directly from our GPUs. All of that is an important part from the processing, again, from the beginning of the process all the way through. So, yeah, we're loving the whole 4K story.
Exciting. What else do we need to know? I mean, you've mentioned so many partners that you've been working with.
Yeah, sorry, I'm
Canon,
probably talking fast and jamming a lot of stuff
Canon,
in.
Adobe.
Yeah, certainly another thing that we're very happy about is, again, we talked about some partners now taking advantage of our CUDA technology. So Chaos Group is in our booth with V-Ray. So, you talked about Maya a little bit, right? So for an artist and animator to be able to have the GPU do processing so they can work interactively and maybe not do a production render, but they're using the GPU to be able to see the work that they're doing at levels they never could before, or to do physics, smooth particle hydrodynamics in that case. That's always fun to say. Or any kind of processing that's allowing an artist and animator to get a better idea of what they're doing right at that level, not waiting until a render comes back the next day or what have you. I mean, that's awesome. So Chaos Group's one example. Ion with their new Fusion release, they're supporting CUDA now. Those guys, they do amazing stuff. Some of the speed ups that they're getting on GPU acceleration versus not, they're just stupid in terms of the huge speed ups, and that's amazing things. So whether it's Nuke, whether it's Fusion, whether it's After Effects, the whole compositing side, and it's great to see. So we couldn't be happier.
Cool. Well, they're telling us that we've got to wrap up this segment, but Greg, we want to thank you again for coming by
Thanks
Post
for having
TV.
us.